B-Marsh Boxing was good boxing as in fight fans around the world back at it with another boxing video. So this man, Anthony Joshua, apparently when he was KO'd, the man was KO'd and probably beat up. By whom? I don't know. But in the sparring leading up to the Andy Ruiz fight, you know what I mean? The man Anthony Joshua, during fight week, he had some scars on his face, especially on his left cheekbone. You check it, looks like the man had gone through some kind of spanking during training. You know what I'm saying? By whom? I don't know. But whomever it was, he put pause on the man Anthony Joshua. And that's why the man Anthony Joshua probably couldn't take a punch fighting against the man Andy Ruiz. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? The man, according to journalist Gareth Davis, he's from England. He's that dude that he be wearing glasses and he has long hair. Um, he's the one who revealed this news, you know what I mean? That Joshua was put down during training session, you know what I mean? He was put on the canvas. And these are the evident apparent marks on his face, you know what I'm saying? And maybe that's why the man Andy Ruiz was beating this dude up from pillar to post, you know what I'm saying? And this guy couldn't take a punch, you know what I mean? And that's probably why the man Anthony Joshua's pops was mad at the man Eddie Hearn, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's been understood that the pops wanted the man not to fight. You check it, he didn't want the man to fight versus the man Andy Ruiz because he had been put down in sparring. You check it, the fight continued, and you know, in hindsight, these people probably didn't want to pull the man Anthony Joshua out because it was fight week. You know what I'm saying? It was probably the week before fight week. He got a beating in sparring, and there's a lot of money on the line. You know what I mean? But Anthony Joshua's pops, he definitely wanted his son Anthony Joshua to get pulled out of the fight versus Andy Ruiz because of what happened in sparring. You check it. So this is news, man. This is some crazy news right here. But Anthony Joshua at times, man, this guy, this guy was just taking punches for fun with his hands down. You know what I mean? You know, he was doing a little jab. You know what I'm saying? But it was like arm punches. You know what I mean? The man wasn't even punching through his target. You check it besides the left hooks. You know what I mean? Those apparently were working right. But this guy's a dummy. How you going to be trading there as a taller fighter? Man, these guys, you got to have straight punches. You can't be hooking with the hooker. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. He got caught in between them exchanges, hooking with the hooker, the smaller guy, instead of keeping his range, using his jab, and pumping that right hand. You know what I mean? This guy don't be watching no Lennox Lewis fights. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot, people, they be criticizing Lennox Lewis. But Lennox Lewis ain't go out like this guy. You know what I mean? When Hakeem Rockman caught Lennox Lewis, it was one punch. This guy took a prolonged beating, got dropped 4 times. You know what I'm saying? Man had his hands down, huffing and puffing, had his hands during the stoppage. The man was trying to take out his mouthpiece, man. There was a point in time in this fight, this guy, Anthony Joshua, even turned his back and went to the corner during a fight. Like it's a timeout. No, no, this is boxing. There's no timeouts or nothing. The referee didn't stop the fight, and the guy turned his back. And I even said it during the hangout I was on. Oh my, hey man, this man turning his back. I thought the man was about to quit. You know what I'm saying? But the man was right there on the turnbuckles in the corner with his hands up with his mouthpiece. He's trying to take it out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, maybe this guy got concussed. You know what I mean? Apparently, that's what news that this guy got concussed. He got a concussion during sparring. Fellas in the chat was goody fellas. Yinks, I'm sorry, Finks, Auto Boxing says, yo, Unrivaled Boxing Talk says, B Marsh, what's good with you, man? He says, I'm still hyped. You ain't never lie, I'm still hyped. I watched the basketball finals game yesterday and I just was watching it, but I was still thinking about that fight. I've watched it 4 times now. 3 times yesterday and the night before, the night it happened. Unbiased rankings and news says, but Joey DeWeco. Yeah, Joey. What about Joey DeWeco? That's who Andy Ruiz looked like. They got similar body frames. Finks Auto Boxing says my man AJ was getting that deep neck massage in his corner before the fight. Yeah, probably got his head snapped back. You know what I'm saying? During sparring. I wonder who it was, man. Now I believe all them rumors of AJ getting put down in sparring. You know what I'm saying? This guy, the legs tell it all. People talk about Deontay Wilder's legs, and I will admit, he did do a funny dance when he fought Eric Molina. Deontay Wilder did. But for a guy who has skinny legs, he ain't got them Pacquiao kind of Ninja Turtle kind of calves. You know what I'm saying? But for a guy who has skinny legs compared to Anthony Joshua, who's a muscle-bound boxer, this guy's legs go out on him quick. Just like when Klitschko caught him. It's like somebody pulled a carpet from under his feet. You know what I mean? Um, Unrivaled says he looked asleep and sick in the corner. He just might have been, man. You know what I'm saying? Getting put down like that in sparring and apparently having a concussion to the point where his pops was concerned and didn't even want his kid to fight. You know what I'm saying? That's that's crazy, you know what I mean? But Eddie Hearn went on with the continue. Andy Ruiz capitalized. If this man was indeed, you know, coming off a concussion, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't taking nothing away from the man Andy Ruiz, you know what I mean? He shocked the world. He caused a big upset. The man Anthony Joshua, he just didn't look like a fighter in there, you know what I mean? Let's be honest. I mean, a guy of that physique and stature fighting against a guy like Andy Ruiz, and Andy Ruiz is not a bum by no means, not at all. You know what I'm saying? He's the number one heavyweight in the division. Some may say Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Wilder just might as well be, but we gotta see these fights. You know what I mean? That's why the fights need to happen. You check it. But Wilder still has a O. The man Andy Ruiz moves on with the 3 titles. I hope the rematch is in USA. You know what I'm saying? That's where Anthony Joshua came to conquer boxing. And then Eddie Hearn reiterated it numerous times on interviews. We're coming over to conquer USA. Well, your USA debut with Anthony Joshua is a nightmare. It's a disaster. It's a nightmare in Gotham. You know what I'm saying? You know, this guy will never forget that night, and neither will I. June 1st, 2019. You know what I'm saying? He took a beating in there, and on the real, that should have not have happened. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Andy Ruiz is not a good fighter who shouldn't get the W, but this guy wet the bed big time, you know what I mean? So that's the news coming out. Where we at in the chat? Finks Out of Boxing says, I'm hella interested with the sanctioning body's order with those belts. The IBF gonna stick their nose in. They're gonna tell this man, Andy Ruiz, he got to defend that IBF. I don't know about the rematch clause, you know what I'm saying? I'm not too sure about it, so I'm not going to speak too much on that. I just say, all I can say is I hope the rematch is in the United States. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure I'm biased. I'm biased heavyweight rankings and news. He knows who's the mandatory for the IBF. Matter of fact, I do too. It's Kubra Pulev. If I'm mistaken, he's the IBF mandatory. He's been the IBF mandatory since Anthony Joshua and then was supposed to fight in Cardiff like a year or two ago when he fought Takam instead. You know what I mean? Where we at in the chat? Unrivaled Boxing News and Talk says, B Marsh, I just made a video. Do you think Al Heyman will block the rematch and pay off the rematch clause fee to keep the belts and make undisputed in-house? I don't know what he'll do, but all I know is, man, PBC is the best boxing in the world. You know what I'm saying? The PBC has the best fighters in the world. When you do look at the pound for pound rankings, ain't too many PBC fighters in there, especially when you look at Ring magazine's rankings, and that's what I've been looking at since a kid. It's kind of been diluted now, because Oscar De La Hoya owns the magazine. He has his own agenda. So that's why you don't see many, if any, PBC fighters in there. You know what I mean? Errol Spence is definitely in there, and I think Mikey Garcia. But the best boxing stable in the world belongs to PBC, straight up and down. It's Lomachenko and Bud Crawford on Top Rank. They were one or two of the best pound for pounders on the planet. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they don't have a deep roster over there for the fights that we do want to see, and PBC does have them. You know what I mean? And I don't know if Al Heyman will block any fight. I don't know if he will. I don't know if he has the power to do those type of things. You know what I'm saying? But all I know is he can definitely make Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz because they both managed by Al Heyman, and that fight could be for undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua right now is on the outside looking in. He cannot call no shots. He has no demands, none of that, man. You know what I'm saying? Them fellas cannot be calling no A-side, nothing. You're not in position no more. You got stripped buck ass naked for your titles. You know what I'm saying? I thought Jared Hurd got stripped buck ass naked for his titles. Nah. Andy Ruiz snatched them titles for the man Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua even let that man hold his titles before he had even won them. You bugging. You gotta take them titles like Isaiah Thomas was talking about Toronto Raptors last night versus the Warriors. You gotta take the finals, take the championship. You just don't win it. You just don't get to touch the trophy without winning it. Nah. And Anthony Joshua, like I said, he's on the outside looking in. You know what I mean? You check it, he's gonna have to put. He got a loss on his record, and that's not by no means a death sentence. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna go into that rhetoric. People talking about, oh, Joe Louis had lost, like when he had lost to Max Mellon before he become. Nah, don't give me that, man. No, you can't compare Anthony Joshua to no Joe Louis. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're not gonna do. You know what I mean? And we're not gonna compare um, Lennox Lewis to Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? That first fight versus Oliver McCall, that might you could call it a questionable stoppage in round two. But when he fought Hasim Rahman, man, he was just playing with that man, had his hands down, and he got caught. He ain't take a beating from pillar to post like Anthony Joshua did. You know what I'm saying? So McGregor, as far as Al Heyman blocking anything, Al Heyman ain't gonna block anything as far as I'm concerned because the two world champions in the world belong to him on his stable. PBC on Fox or Showtime. Already, where we at? I'm biased. Says Dwecko was AJ's sparring partner. That was about it. Oh, that's what you was talking about, Joey Dwecko. Yeah, okay. Joey Dwecko, yeah, like I said, he got a similar frame to the man um Andy Ruiz, so who knows? He might have just done it, you know what I'm saying? Tough Philly fighter. Unrivals Boxing Talk says Caballel also. Okay. The Turkish guy who beat Chisora. Finks GRR says Unrivaled Boxing Talk says to Unrivaled Boxing Talk. If the IBF rumors are true, maybe Al can get Ruiz versus the Mando. Well, the Mando, if I'm mistaken, is Kubra Pulev. Kubra Pulev, if I'm mistaken, has signed a deal with ESPN Top Rank. So we shall see. James Germain, this is what can happen when you don't make the mega fights ASAP. Joshua Wilder is a fight I wanted to see with both fighters being undefeated. Exactly. Exactly, James. And this is why I made that video after Hurd got lost. He lost to J. Rock Williams. I made a video said what happened between Jamel Charlo and Tony Harrison and J Rock and Jared Hurd at the 154 division will happen in the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? What happened in the 154 division will happen in heavyweight if these guys are not fighting each other sooner than later, especially in the heavyweight division. The odds favor one of these guys to lose quicker than the other divisions because there's big boys in there, you know what I mean? Buster Douglas, them type of upsets could happen. Hasim Rahman, you know? Then the man from the UK, what's going on, man? He says, is the title of the video a question or a fact? I just got in. Well, according to your guy from England, what's that guy's name with the long hair? Is it Gareth Davis with the glasses? This is coming from him, you know what I'm saying? Um, on the back of journalist Gareth Davis. And he reported this news to World Boxing News. You know what I mean? So I don't know if this guy's going to jump out the window and put out stuff that's not true Anthony Joshua's pops was visibly upset at Eddie Hearn after the fight. For what, we don't know. I didn't hear, but this is apparently what he was upset about. Finks GRR says, or Finks Out of Boxing says, LOL, Jarrett Hurd fought till the last bell. He sure did, man. I had him losing round 12, though. I thought J-Rock won round 12, you know what I mean? But he was rallying, trying to make a run, but he just got beat up, you know what I mean? Okay, Legend 27 says, let's compare Frank Bruno's to Joshua. Well, what I do know between Frank Joshua, I said Frank Bruno and Joshua. Frank Bruno and Joshua are both chiseled bodybuilding type of physiques. And when these guys get hit on the head, the legs. Go look at Mike Tyson versus Bruno. The second fight where Mike Tyson had come from jail when he had that man on the ropes. The legs, they just go from under you, you know what I mean? And these guys just can't get back up. It's hard for them to get back up, you know what I'm saying? Probably their legs too heavy, their arms already too heavy, weighing probably like 20 pounds apiece. You know what I mean? Go even look at Frank Bruno versus Bone Crusher Smith. I believe Bone Crusher Smith had even lost. He wasn't coming into that fight undefeated, and Bruno was. And this guy, these muscle bound guys, they just like Tommy Morrison, you know what I mean? I put a video yesterday where I played a fight night game, you know what I'm saying, versus, I think I was Joe Frazier versus Tommy Morrison. I just walked that dude down because I know this guy's just a muscle bound dude who can't take a punch, and I beat the shit out of him. And I put it on YouTube for anybody who want to check it out, you know what I mean? Unrivaled Boxing Talker News says rumors, Dan. It's rumors, hey, but the guy from England is a reputable journalist, you know? And the guy obviously had scars on his face. We seen that. The marks on his face, and he gave a nut ass answer. He probably was concussed when he said it. You know, this guy said something stupid ass. You know, Anthony Joshua, when they asked him about it, he said it's physio. When Radio Raheem asked him about it. Radio Raheem asked him about what happened to his face. He said it's physio. Radio Raheem asked him, what do you mean it's physio? I forgot what he said, but you already know he was trying to duck the question. That was almost like Mike Tyson and Jim Gray. Spinal. I broke my back. Jim Gray asked him, what do you mean you broke your back? Spinal. That was the same type of thing. I forgot what else they asked him, man. And he gave a concussed type of answer. Like this man had been hit a few 2 times in training camp in sparring. You know what I'm saying? Where we at in the chat? Unbiased heavyweight rankings and news says facts. Unbiased heavyweight rankings and news says Pulev versus Rivas. White winner. IBF is known for stripping titles if you don't fight Mandos ASAP. Yes, they do. You know what I'm saying? They've done it numerous times in history. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know, they did it to Winky Wright. You know what I mean? When Winky Wright ain't faced Kasimo Uma. You know what I mean? And he went in for that rematch with Shane Mosley. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else had the IBF title taken away from him. Where we at? Speaking of what ifs, imagine, I think Artaboxer says, speaking of what ifs, imagine if BT had made Wilder versus AJ with the 50 million back in the day. Back in the day was just last year. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that fight would have been in September. So it's even less than a year. It's not even that back in the day. And that's when he fought Povetkin, if I'm mistaken, right? Should have taken that 50 mil. Because now he's not going to get no 50 mil. I don't know when he will. I don't know. Only way this guy can get more than 50 mil that he asked for, then declined, is if he can get back on the winning path, go through the likes of his British contemporaries, Dillian White, maybe even Alexander Usyk. What's the other guy? Tyson Fury. Andy Ruiz, maybe get his belts back, and Wilder and them also still winning. Maybe he beats Tyson Fury, and maybe Wilder's still undefeated at that time. and maybe like Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather, then the fight could probably be bigger than it ever was when there was a 50-50, when Floyd was offering a 50-50 back in the day. So that's probably the only way. But as of right now, 50 mils out the window. He made a career high payday versus Andy Ruiz. Came to USA, wet the bed, and lost all his titles. James Germain says Gareth Davis is a credible reporter. Yes, indeed. AOBZ says shout out B Mar. Shout outs to you, man. Big ups. Dan the man says if only Fink. Yeah, man. If only we would have been seen that fight. Unrivaled, okay. AOBZ says you can see his black eye. He had tough sparring, exactly. And he said it was physio. Physio is like doing rehab, you know, like if you go, like, I don't know, let's say you're in a car accident and you go to you go for physio. You know what I'm saying? You go and try, if you got insurance, at least you go and try to get, you might have messed up your knee. Your insurance will pay for your physio. You know what I'm saying? For your rehab, physical therapy. That's what the fuck physio is. It got nothing to do with getting punched up and sparring. You know what I mean? You check it. So Unravel Boston Talk says, Dan the Man, are you Dan? I know. This ain't Dan the Man from California. Unravel Boxing News. AOBZ says, has anyone actually said they knocked him out in sparring? Well, Unraveled, not Unraveled, Unbiased Heavyweight Rankings and News, he said Joey Dwecko was his sparring partner. And Unrivaled McGregor says Kabayel is was a sparring partner. So I don't know who it was. So that I do not know. I'm not aware of that news. Okay. Then the man says no. Main Boxing Biker, what's good, man? What's happening with you? Says, what up, B Marsh and Chats, what's happening? Main Boxing Biker says, rumor has it AJ been getting KO a lot in sparring. I wouldn't doubt it. Those legs tell a lot, man. That first knockdown, 10 seconds after putting the man, the guy put Andy Ruiz on the canvas. Then Andy Ruiz got up, then he caught him with a big right hand. Andy Ruiz ate that shit, and then they started trading, and he got caught on the tempo. And when he did, those legs, man, he did the Macarena. You know what I'm saying, man? Did a funny dance, boom. And then Andy Ruiz put some combos on him and followed up, and he went down. So I wouldn't doubt he been going down in sparring, man. I wouldn't doubt it one bit. I believe them rumors. Okay. Unrivaled Boxing News says, White and Pulev for the vacant IBF. That's I wouldn't mind that, but White Ben had an opportunity to go to Bulgaria to fight the man Pulev to become the mandatory. He ain't do it. You know what I'm saying? But if that title gets stripped, well, Dillian White got a fight versus Rivas. So whoever wins that fight, and if Andy Ruiz so does happen to get stripped of that IBF, if he doesn't fight his mandatory, because even if there's a rematch, look at Tyson Fury, man. Tyson Fury had to drop his IBF belt first when he fought Charles Martin and that Russian dude who got a lot of fucking gift decisions. Gift decision versus Atomic. Glaskov or something. Glaskov. Yeah, that's when Tyson Fury got stripped. So it can happen, man. And those are the three titles. These three titles, man, IBF, if you got IBF, WBO, and WBA, those titles are kind of cursed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have the WBC up in there, man. I take one of them out, preferably the WBO. I toss that joint out and keep a WBC, or try to pursue the WBC. Look at Vladimir Klitschko, lost all three of them titles to Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? Look at the man Jared Hurd, lost three of those titles: WBO, WBA, and IBF. No, he ain't got the. No, he ain't got. What did Jared? Oh, Jared Hurd ain't even have three. All right. Look, and then Anthony Joshua loses his IBF WBA and WBO to the man in one night, just like that. He loses him to to Andy Ruiz. You know what I mean? Look at the man Kovalev. Kovalev had the WBO, WBA, IBF. You know what I'm saying? You know, he was a unified guy. You know what I mean? Had his WBO from when he fought Nathan Cleverly. Had the WB. What do you have? WB. What do you have? IBF. When he fought B Hop, and I think B Hop had two. He had the. I was matter of fact, I was at that fight live in the flesh when he fought Shumanov to unify his WBA and IBF titles. So he had three, and guess what? B Hop lost his straps. I'm sorry, Kovalev lost his straps to Andre Ward, just like that. Just like that in one night, all three of them straps. I could even take you further, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll take you further, man. I remember a guy by the name of Baby Bull Diaz from Texas. He fought what's that guy's name? Nate Campbell, the Galaxy Warrior. You know what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao had the WBC title. You know what I mean? And Nate what's his name? Baby Bull Diaz got beat up. He got beat the fuck up. He got beat the fuck up by the man. What's his name? The Galaxy Warrior. Took all them titles, WBA, WBO, and IBF. You know what I'm saying? Those three titles kind of cursed, man. The WBC title got be sitting pretty, just chilly chill watching like Adonis Stevenson or seeing Kovalev get destroyed with them body shots. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So them three titles right there, man. I don't know about them titles right there. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I don't know about them titles, you know. Michikowski, he didn't have the WBC title, but he had the WBA, IBF, and WBO. But he ain't lose none of them titles in the ring and still was a lineal champion. And to me, Roy Jones was the disputed light heavyweight champion because they ain't get to fight with Michikowski. But it is what it is. That's my point, man. Them titles cursed. All right, where we at? Neutral, or neutral natural says why they can't give Ruiz an exception to IBF like they Alvarez. He don't gotta fight Devrchenko now. I agree with you. What does he have? He has WBC, IBF, and WBA. Yeah, at least he ain't cursed. That's why, because he has a WBC. But on the real, it's also because Canoli's a cash cow and he can do what he wants. That's boxing. Boxing's not regulated like that. You know what I'm saying? I made a video that the IBF giving him a pass for not fighting his IBF mandatory. That's some BS. It is. And if I was Andy Ruiz, I'd pull the same claim versus with the IBF. Fuck that. Mm-hmm. If I gotta fight my mandatory, so does the man. What's his name? So does Canelo. Unbiased Heavyweight News says Tyson Fury got stripped of IBF. Yes, he did. Neutral Natural says IBF need not strip Ruiz. I agree with you, Neutral Natural. One of them ones. What go on, man? He says, yes, B Marsh, my brother. What's the news? What's happening with you, man? The news is Garrett Davis said the man Anthony Joshua got knocked out and had a concussion in sparring. And his pops wanted to pull him out to fight. Eddie Hearn and them went on with the show. The show must continue. And Anthony Joshua got mollywopped and beat the fuck up all around the ring from round 3 and in round 7. He just got beat up. And I also gave the man Andy Ruiz round 1. You know what I mean? So, whew, man, this guy got dropped 4 times, man. 4 times. Those are 2 10-7 rounds, man. You know what I'm saying? How the hell are you the number 1 heavyweight on the planet? You know what I'm saying? I know George Foreman beat the shit out of Joe Frazier. But that's George Foreman. George Foreman's an all-time great. You know what I'm saying? You know, Joe Frazier is a great fighter too. You know what I mean? Andy Ruiz, we shall see. You know what I mean? His career is not set in stone, and neither is Anthony Joshua. The comeback, maybe this is a minor setback for a major comeback for AJ, but I'm trying to tell you right now, if they do the rematch, I'm going to be picking the man Andy Ruiz. I think he's just a better fighter than the man Anthony Joshua. The Povetkin fight, I watched it the week leading into the fight versus Andy Ruiz, and I seen how this little guy with the short guy, the hooker, can bust up this guy's nose. And you saw this guy's nose leaking again, just like with Taco. Taco might have used his head, but he busted his nose. So did the man, Dominique Brazil. He busted his nose. So did Povetkin in round one. He busted his nose, and so did the man, Andy Ruiz. You know what I mean? So these are traits and consistencies that we have seen in Anthony Joshua. And now, hey, he paid the price. He paid the toll. He paid the toll. I don't know if he came through New Jersey, but you know how New York City got a lot of tolls, you know what I mean? He paid the toll. Now he's gonna catch British Airways back to the UK with no belts, you know what I mean? Boxing is cold blooded. It's cold blooded, man. Legend 27 says, what would happen if AJ if Ruiz did take the IBF mandatory fight? AJ got nothing to do with that. But if the IBF tries to put this man Anthony Joshua in place to fight for that title, I'll be pissed. I'll be pissed. They cannot do that. That man, they gotta have the number one and two guy. And according to unbiased, no, heavyweight bank, unbiased heavyweight ranking and news, he said, hey, Dillian White and Pulev, they the number one and two, and they should fight for it. And Dillian White and the winner of him versus Rivas, they should be the ones who should fight Pulev. Then the man says, I don't see AJ getting any 50 billion paydays. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see it. I don't see it neither. Like I said, only way it will happen is if he builds his way back up, you know. And other guys like maybe Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, whomever, one of them remains undefeated, you know what I mean? And Anthony Joshua is actually now looking like he's worked his way back up. That's the only way. And then that fight might have a demand. As long as it has a high demand, then possibly. But as of right now, he ain't getting no 50 mil. He not even getting no 25 mil again. One of them one says, what up to Dan the Man? Neutral Natural says, AJ need a tune-up and face the winner of Andy Ruiz because I want to see the undisputed heavyweight champion. Well, Neutral Natural, Anthony Joshua was talking on the ES News and he said, man, there ain't no tune-up fights. He don't want no tune-up fights. If he fights Ruiz next, that's what he wants. You know what I'm saying? So, we shall see. Finks out of boxer says, White versus Pulev for vacant IBF. LOL. Finks says, no undisputed heavyweight champion until Tyson gets in there with the champ. Heavyweight, the undisputed could happen right now, just like on PBC. With Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. Hopefully they can make that happen if Andy Ruiz doesn't get a rematch or give a rematch. But I hope he also does give a rematch. But really and truly, actually I don't. I mean, look, if there's a rematch clause, we have no control about that. Can't do nothing about that. But really and truly, that fight doesn't warrant a rematch. He got beat up. Man got his ass whooped. Neutral Natural says J-Rock looked like something was wrong with his eye before he fought Hurd. Really? I'm not sure. One of them ones says, what's up, Finks? You sorted your name out? Neutral Natural says, and he beat Hurd. He did beat Hurd, yep. Neutral Natural says, I get Kabaev. He need to fight a contender. He been an actor for a minute. Yeah, he has. I ain't seen him fight really and truly since that fight with Chisora. Unbiased says, Unbiased heavyweight ranking says, Pulev versus Rivas. I got Rivas beating White. I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised, man. Neutral Natural says, Ruiz should fight Pulev in September. If he's forced to face his mandatory, sure. Get it out the way, because IBF don't play. Dan the Man says, yo, B. Marsh, what would you say are the top 5 heavyweights right now in order? In order? Well, Deontay Wilder has fought better competition at heavyweight than the man overall than the bad Andy Ruiz. You know what I mean? You check it. Andy Ruiz or Wilder could be 1A, 1B, whichever. Number 3, I'd put Tyson Fury. 4, 4, I'm probably gonna put guys like 4 and 5. I'd have to put probably Dillian White and Luis Ortiz in the top 5. Anthony Joshua's on the outside looking in. It's just straight like that. Can't call no shots, man. He can't do nothing. Matter of fact, Andy Ruiz, I don't know what the rematch clause states, but Andy Ruiz should have that fight here in USA on the West Coast. Staples Center, the Forum. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere where there's going to be a big Hispanic, Mexican contingency, you know what I mean? P Money, what the deal? P Money, what's going on with you? He says, what's good? B Marsh, what's happening? Neutral Natural says that I'm biased. I have a feeling White will get KO by Rivas too. Possibly. Possibly, you know what I mean? P Money says it's been crazy few weeks for boxing, man. It's been a crazy year, man. Crazy upsets, you know what I mean? One upset I'm waiting for, but on the odds, it's not really an upset. It's actually a 50-50, but because of age difference, I'm waiting to see if Manny Pacquiao could pull it off for a Sturman. If he does that, it'll be a crazy year of boxing, you know what I mean? Jake Edwards says something was wrong with AJ. Didn't look right from the start. No question about it. And we was on the hangout with Unrivaled Boxing News, and he definitely pointed that out from the jump. You know what I'm saying? And the man Anthony Joshua. Those rounds like 5 and 6 when the man was fighting with his hands down and just not throwing no punches. You know, like taking punches. Don't even got his high guard up. Not even looking like he's trying to deflect, catch and shoot no punches. And his jab, it looked pathetic. You know? Hey, man. The Wilder haters said Tyson Fury was a what do you call it? A cherry pick gone wrong. Cherry pick gone wrong. Undefeated fighter, a guy who beat the long reigning Klitschko, one of the longest reigning heavyweight champions in boxing history. The man came off a layoff. He fought some two weak opponents. And they call that a cherry pick gone wrong. So if that's a cherry pick gone wrong, what do we call this Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua? What do we call that? You know what I'm saying? Because a guy coming off a 3-week short notice should not be doing that to no big muscle-bound bodybuilding, weightlifting, Tommy Morrison looking mofo. You know what I mean? Straight up. All right, let me see where we at, man. I got a lot of, hold on, let me get my charger, man, because my phone button down. Hold tight. Let me get my charger. So my phone don't die. I'm on 5%. Alright, sorry about that. We back at it, man. There's a lot of chats to read, man. Warren Meteorist says, big up one of them ones. What up? He says, what's happening? He says, what's up, B March? What's up with you, Warren? How you feeling, man? One of them ones last says, what's up to the Warren? Then the man says, what? Says, what up too? Okay. Finks Art or Boxing says, one of them ones media. Yes, sir. Trying to start the channel. You know, no doubt. If you started it, Finks Art or Boxing, I will subscribe today. Art Neutral Natural says, AJ got outboxed and beat by Ruiz. No question about it. He got outboxed by a guy who has a stronger amateur pedigree. Let's be real about it, you know. Let's be real about it. You know, this guy, Anthony Joshua, started boxing damn near as a grown man at 18. This other guy's been doing boxing since he was like 8 years old, got a stronger amateur pedigree, more experience. Anthony Joshua he's a talented guy to go on and win a gold medal, although he had some questionable fights in the Olympics, especially versus the Cuban, you know what I mean? So even that title fight, the gold medal fight, you know what I'm saying? That fight could have gone either way, really and truly. But, you know, the hometown guy was going to win it, you know? But Andy Ruiz is a better boxer, and he proved that. You know what I'm saying? He has a natural ability to fight. Anthony Joshua is taught how to fight. the Mexican Andy Ruiz is a natural fighter. Jake Edwards says AJ will ice Ruiz in rematch. Something wasn't right. I doubt that. Nah, he ain't icing nobody. Nope, nope, nope. Nah, there's a blueprint out there. Just touch him on the temple. I mean, Vladimir Klitschko showed it first. And he showed how to take the carpet, sweep the carpet straight up under his feet. And it's going to be hard for him to get up. And when he gets up, we seen it versus Anthony versus Klitschko. The man ain't throw no punches. What was he doing? He was on the ropes. You know what I'm saying? Trying to buy time, trying to gas, trying to find the air. And Anthony and Klitschko just didn't have that killer instinct. Andy Ruiz did. One of them ones says, big ups to Finks. I'm about to, he says, just sub to your channel. I'm about to sub as soon as this live stream's over. Neutral Natural says, Tony Harrison pulled out of the Charlo rematch. Are you serious? Is that true? I'm going to have to find out. Where you find this news at? Quote your source, Neutral Natural. One of them ones. Fink says peace that one of them ones. Hmm. Fink's out of boxer says that's crazy. What according to Neutral Natural says that Harrison pulled out. Neutral Natural says I know Regal's the main event. Can't wait to see Rigondeaux again. Rigondeaux is one of those fighters, man, who fought so seldom. So when he fought to me, man, I couldn't. It's like I probably couldn't sleep the Friday before because I can't wait for Saturday to see Rigo fight. And that's how I always felt for guys like I felt like that for Floyd Mayweather when Floyd was about to fight. You know what I'm saying? Or guys even as recently like Rigondeaux and Adonis Stevenson. And also Manny Pacquiao. I mean, I'm probably seen these guys' whole career, so when they fight, I'm on it. Finks are the boxer says, where you see that? EJ Boxer Live, what's good, man? EJ Boxer Live says AJ eats something wrong. Yeah, he ate a couple punches to the face in sparring. You know what I'm saying? EJ Boxer Live says AJ dad begged Eddie Hearn for his son not to fight. Exactly. I said that in the video in the beginning, and but the show had to continue, man. The fight was just a few days away, less than a week away, and there was a lot of money on the table. Big Baby had already tested positive, so people would probably look at Matchroom Boxing and in the States on their American debut, we'd look at him like a joke. Like they couldn't even come out here and put on a show. So that's why they probably had to go on with the fight. But AJ's pops, what's his name? Robert, he was pissed. One of them ones says to Neutral Natural, which Regal fight? The one with Julio Ceja? Yeah, that's who he fights next, actually, on the undercard of Charlo and Harrison. Jake Edwards says, AJ still number one. No, sir. No, sir. He might be to you, but he's not number one to anybody who knows boxing. So, nope, Jake Edwards, I'll have to disagree. One of them one says, WAP and EJ. Dan the man says, damn, B. Marsh, you don't have AJ in the top five anymore? That's harsh. Man, I don't got him in the top five after getting beat up like that, man. Nah, man. I can't do it, Mo. I can't do it because there's other guys out there, if they have been beaten, like Luis Ortiz, he was winning on my card. He even at the time of the stoppage in round 10, I had him up, but Wilder stopped him. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury's still undefeated. You know what I mean? Dillian White has fought good competition, especially last year, with the exception of what's his name? The fat boy from New Zealand or Australia, Marcus Brown. Not Marcus Brown. Doesn't matter. He got put to sleep face first on the canvas. Nah, I ain't got him in my top five. Number six, maybe. He's on the outside looking in. Can't come out here get embarrassed like that. Like, showed no heart. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sure enough, he did get up from the knockdowns. You know what I'm saying? But he just doesn't have the fighter spirit in him. You know what I mean? Andy Ruiz did. Neutral Natural says, how does AJ deserve a rematch and Ruiz was a short notice opponent? It shouldn't be a rematch clause for a short notice opponent. He just got the beat to break off of him. I agree with that 100%, Neutral Natural. Neutral Natural says Frank Bruno 2.0. He goes down like Frank Bruno. He got the same body physique as Frank Bruno. Frank Bruno's getting punched up by James Bone Crusher Smith even before They had challenged for world titles, and now and James Bone Crusher Smith, he's a principal of a high school. Got beat up by a high school principal. Neutral Natural says, why people keep blaming Drake for AJ getting the breaks off of him when getting KO'd. Yeah, people love social media bullshit. And I absolutely don't blame Drake one bit. Drake doesn't fight. He's not in the ring taking punches. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua is the one who spars, trains, and gets ready to get paid 25 mil for a fight in his American debut. Drake's not even from New York or from USA. So he got nothing to do with it. Main Boxing Biker says, what up to EJ? One of them ones media says, B Marsh, Oliver McCall is still active. Remember when he had a breakdown in the ring against Lewis? Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. I'm just laughing at that you said he's still active. And I think I can't remember who mentioned it, but somebody mentioned that not too long ago in the Hangouts. I think it might have been McGregor. Talk about this guy's still active. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Yeah, I remember that nervous breakdown. I'll never forget. That guy ain't want to fight no more. He was crying, turning his back on the man, Lennox Lewis. But he was a pipehead, man. Man used to smoke crack. So those are crackhead tendencies. Neutral Natural says AJ is going to fight short again and hook with a hooker again. Yeah, he didn't. He actually absolutely gave up his height. Dan the Man says it's the Drake curse at Natural. Main Boxing Biker says AJ got that sweet spot on the side of the head, same as Roy Jones behind the ear. True indeed. Yeah, he does. That temple shot knocks off your equilibrium, and for him, it just short circuits him. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he gets tased the way he goes down. Boom! It's a big dude, man. Look like he gets tased, especially when Klitschko caught him. Inboxing Biker says only number one AJ is his meme of the internet this month. Yes, sir. He's been a meme. He'll be the picture. You'll see a lot of memes of him looking, especially that one where he walking out, his spirit gets knocked out. He walking out of Madison Square Garden. He goes to the airport, gets on his British Airways flight. That one was hilarious. Okay, where we at? Um, What the God? What's happening with the God? What the God TV says, what up, homie? What's happening with you, man? What the God says, why AJ dad was so mad at Eddie? Well, apparently, with the God, AJ got beat up in sparring and got knocked out. Not knocked down, knocked out and probably was concussed, had a concussion coming into that fight. And his pops ain't want him to fight, you know what I'm saying, versus Andy Ruiz. They wanted Eddie Hearn to pull him out to fight, but they ain't do it. They had a lot riding. They had a lot of money on the table, and the event had to continue. And that's why Robert Joshua, Anthony Joshua's pops, was mad at Eddie Hearn, especially after the fight when he got up in his face. Neutral Natural says it's just AJ got low ring IQ. Yeah, he his IQ ain't higher than the man Andy Ruiz. I'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? The way Andy Ruiz, especially the second knockdown in round 3, where he damn near put him through the ropes, and the last punch was a jab. The technique, how he got on the inside, it was a beautiful, quick, fast ass shotgun 1-2, ba bang. Boom! This guy got in the corner, then he got caught with a kind of overhand right, knocked the sweat beads off his face. And there was he got commenced to beating the shit out of him. Um, Jake Edwards says all heavyweights lose, except Rocky Marciano. Main boxing bike, nah, he didn't say except Rocky Marciano. I'm telling Jake Edwards except Rocky Marciano. Main boxing biker says AJ and Amir Khan body and legs react the same way when they get hurt. Yep. Must be a British Olympian thing. I don't know. But you're right about that. Neutral Natural says McCall fought a journeyman. 3-16-1 this year. McCall, who's McCall? What the God says, AJ need a chin implant before the fight again. Yeah, he do. He do. He can't put no muscles on it, but he needs something. Plant some iron in there. Thinks out of boxing says, dang, Kenny Porter saying Errol ain't signed the contract for 5 weeks yet. Yeah, I seen a video on that on Seconds Out, or is it Michelle Joy Phelps' channel? Um, they saying the pops is saying Kenny Porter saying that dude Errol Spence ain't trying to fight in August. I don't know what they trying to do though. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Neutral Natural says the temple and jaw area now. Well, he ain't even really get hit on the jaw. It's mostly temple shots, head shots that put this man down. Neutral Natural says now guys are going to be way more aggressive and he might be the next Michael Grant. But 1999 Michael Grant versus AJ's a 50-50 fight. Oliver McCall. Oh, McCall. You said McCall. You said McCall like it's McCall. I know, okay. Yeah, he should be fighting a guy who's 3-16-1 this year. Neutral Natural. Oliver McCall is probably 50 years old. Oliver McCall was a Mike Tyson sparring partner in like 1988. You know what I'm saying? You check it. Vanderman says AJ needs to work on his defense and head movement. At the moment, it's non-existent. Yeah, he's easy to hit, man. Easy to tag up, man. I had that fight versus Joseph Parker a draw. I don't know what y'all had it, man. Only guy I remember having it a draw as well was Mr. Boxing Today, and he knows heavyweight boxing. If he knows boxing, he's definitely on the heavyweight scene. You know what I mean? You know, AJ didn't look spectacular in that fight. I had that fight a draw. Now, if you have it 7-5, I ain't mad at that for AJ. God damn, one of them ones says McCall is 54. Jesus. Yeah, you know, Oliver McCall spent most of his career also as a drug addict, so you could imagine where a lot of his money went. And he was also a Don King fighter, you know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure it's obvious he needs the money, you know what I'm saying? You check it. So B Marsh Boxing about to seal the deal on this live stream. Damn near been here for an hour. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all coming through in this chat, man. You know what I'm saying? But as of right now, probably got to handle some BI. You know what I'm saying? And talk to you guys on the next one, on the flip side. Big ups to Dan the Man, one of them ones, Neutral Natural. Finks Art of Boxing, Wood the God, Jake Edwards. Um, I hate to leave anybody out. EJ Boxing Live. Shout outs to EJ. Mm, Warren, Mediaros. Big ups to P Money as well. Shout outs to all y'all, man. Unrivaled Boxing Talk. Shout outs to Unbiased Heavyweight Rankings in Boxing. Shout outs to Legend 27. Big ups to everybody. ABZ. OBZ, excuse me. OBZ. James Germain. Shout outs to you as well. Big ups to everybody, man. Thanks for coming through. Hopefully I'll do another live stream when I have some time sooner than later. And I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side. You heard? Peace.